Hi everyone, welcome to today's session, the first session of 2026. So when it comes to AI, we all know that AI is becoming like new norm, the way how agile used to be earlier. Now it is AI is coming up the context. So today we have Ketan with us, Ketan Kulkarni, who will cover the uncovering the basics AI to agentic. Right. So when it comes to AI, again we need to talk about Ketan. Right. So here we did a lot of research, a lot of sessions within SSAG, and a lot of conferences, including RSGs and global conferences. So let's hand over to Ketan and let's welcome him. Welcome, Ketan. Over to you.
Yeah, hi. Thanks a lot, Satish. Very happy New Year to everybody. And I hope this year is going to be more AI enabled, but with human first ways of working that we all follow. So thanks again. And thanks everyone for joining as well. And yeah, 60 minutes is quite lesser time to uncover all the basics. I'll try my level best. If we overrun, Satish, we can plan another one as well, because it's a long journey from AI to agentics. And last couple of weeks back, I saw some discussions going on the group, and that's where I thought that maybe it is better whatever small information or whatever learning I'm having, and I'm still learning, and we all can collaborate to make our learnings more robust as well. Even I can learn from all of you, and I'm eager to learn. But this session is all about the basics. So I will try to sneak in to see if I can showcase one simple demo, which I've done many times earlier. But this time it is more about architecture behind that agent. If I get time, I'll definitely show you. But before this, to start with, I want to have a question to all of you. What is it in the basics that you feel you need to know and you're expecting as part of the session? You can use your Zoom chat, put your views there. When I say uncover the basics, what are the basics of AI that you really want to uncover here? I know many of you are also part of using AI. Some of you are techies as well. And surely, if there is anything that I'm missing on, you can let us know as well. We can complete that information for everyone. But to again, a question: what is it from the basics perspective that you want to know? Effective prompting. Okay. What is agentic AI and how I leverage it in my day work? Great. Good question.
Also,
Any
Srinivas
more?
mentioned utility of agents and their evolution.
Absolutely. We got 37 on the call, excluding me 36. Explore all AI tools. Okay, fine. All right. Understand this. You are asking the usage here again. How you can use AI. The question is, what is the basics of AI you want to understand? Difference of chatbot and agentic AI. Good question. Right use cases. I'm just taking a minute more so that I can get more views from many of you who are there in the call. How to analyze high impact use case and how justify ROI payback time and add business case. Okay. Types and using in different applications. How as SMI can use. You're all are focusing towards usage. Fine. Okay. I have another question to all of you. How many of you understand the difference between machine learning and deep learning? You can say yes or no. Simple answers. How many of you understand machine learning and deep learning?
Srinivas mentioned as yes,
Okay, good
others
one.
are
Yeah,
mentioning
absolutely.
as no.
And be very, very frank about it. It's a new year. We start with a new energy about it. Even I know I don't know many things. I learn a lot from others. Still learning. Sometimes I do mistakes as well. A lot of mistakes actually. Some DL is a subset of machine learning. Okay, fine. I'm putting another question to all of you. How many of you know what is the difference between agent and co-pilot? Agent and co-pilot. what does an agent is and what does a co-pilot is in terms of artificial intelligence. Okay, I think enough of questions. This session is more towards uncovering the basics from artificial intelligence, highest peel of onion outside, till we go inside to agentic AI. But I'm going to use some factors internally to understand some basic terminologies, not all of them. To cover all of them, we would need to have a long session for 8 hours, which is going to be not so good on Saturday morning. But at least to leave you with a thought where you can be self-enabled about to gain some interest, where you can go back and start initializing the learning that you want to have. Usage tools are available, which we can surely suggest. But this is all about how you can understand what exactly these terminologies are, what AI is, what does it does, and whenever you talk about such terminologies in your organization, is it something that you're relating to? Because to be very frank, use of AI is not equal to AI enablement. It's basically if you're using a washing machine doesn't mean you know the mechanics of washing machine, right? Using a dishwasher doesn't mean that you know what the dishwasher is. It's about usage, it's not about understanding. In a similar way, if you feel that knowing AI or using AI tools is equal to I am AI enabled, that is not the way I would feel we will sustain going forward. So any role, how it is going to use your role to be enhanced. Before that, you need to understand what AI does. And the session is going to be more about what AI is, what it basically have the components into it, and how we go further. Be with me on this. I'm going to try to make it more simpler so that you're not bored on some technical terminologies. And we are not here to code right now. I'm not asking you to write some Python code, but a basic terminologies that we all sometimes struggle. Even I used to struggle a lot. So, Satish, just let me know if you're able to see my screen. Uh, uh,
Yes,
uh,
Ketan, we are able to see.
okay, fine. And let's have the question and answer session at the end. I'll try to see how much I can cover. Satish, do give me a heads up check before 10 minutes. If
Sure.
we ran into something, then I will cover a few concepts early. But if you want another session, we can still have it next week if possible. Uncovering the basics, okay? And let's start with this. So AI is like an onion, right? This is how it basically goes in. How many of you have seen this particular image? How many of you have seen this image since last 2 years?
I've seen Ketan. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, same here. Like probably in some sessions, meetups, and all the stuff. They used to
Great.
start with this diagram. I remember.
Absolutely. The first diagram that came in the world about generative AI, this is the diagram which came in. That whenever I go and peel the onion, I feel like I'm peeling the AI. That's how it actually happens, right? So yeah. Anybody else who have seen this image? Just trying to make it a bit interactive. Knowing this
Yes,
image, many times. Oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yes, I have seen same on internet and while doing the generative AI, Google generative AI exam, I have seen this
Okay. All right.
during that course. Yeah.
Okay, fine. And since then, when you saw this image until today, have you understood all of this? Like I seen this, I understood the concept of what, as a definition of a theory, it is. Then I always used to wonder, at the initial level, what does machine learning actually is, where it has been, how it is different than deep learning, and why this field is going inside it, why it is not a separate entity altogether. Why this AI is a big one, outside field, and again we're going inside everywhere. So let's try to learn it in a different way altogether. I'm trying to make it a bit simpler in my own way. Sometimes my simplicity is very complicated. That's what I've got a feedback from many people. And I'm still trying to improvise my simplicity, which is actually the art of maximizing the amount of work not done. Principle number 10 in the Agile. Still, I'm not that good. And if at all, if it goes in, you can again put the feedback at the end to Satish and me, anyways. So, this is what I have always been. Still, I'm confused what's next to learn out of this. And beyond this, when I felt that what needs to be done, I started having my own ways of thinking and learning to make this basics thing going. In many different chats and WhatsApps here and there, and I've saw a lot of questions coming in, and that's exactly what triggered my mind to talk to Satish and say, let's try to do something different. Let's try to bring in a session where, or try to learn together what it is. So what is it actually? It's basically a partnership, right? It's more like your AI systems evolve like relationships. And I'm going to take an analogy of me, myself, and my wife here for the entire session. It is completely my views. And to make it a bit different and have a different analogy, I'm going to make it a Saturday morning in a way where at least I can talk about what I do at home and how I do relate that to AI to make myself learn on that. So it's basically on the growth part to have autonomy. This is exactly how we go together. This is the evolution journey so far since somewhere down the line from November 23. It basically started from Gen AI and then onwards. Before that, we had deep learning and AI ML. Now, I'm going to say AI ML is machine learning and visual intelligence. I'm just giving a sample ways of thinking or a point here that learning from data is AI ML, understanding patterns is deep learning, creating content is generative AI, assisting you is Copilot. AI agents are acting for you. They're basically acting for you. Agentic is running the entire house. Ecosystem is like an extended family. Your entire city has been run through an agentic ecosystem. It may happen. This is a simplistic way to understand right now what it basically is. But still, this evolution journey doesn't give us a clear picture of what exactly the concepts are. So, just a second. Uh, let's start with this. And AI and machine learning. I'm taking an example of newlyweds, and everywhere this analogy comes in, it is all about me, not about you guys. So it's all my views of way of learning. So what does AI is? So it's more about that anything where you give an input and you get some output with some algorithm in between. That is your AI. That's exactly started way back in 1956. We don't want to go back to that line. Again, Turing test, again, IBM's chessboard that beat Kasparov. So many things are there, which has started in many learnings and many courses. You don't want to go there. But the more here is it, how it basically comes in picture. So AI was more, artificial intelligence is more about having input and output and have some decision learning and some processing in between where your work can be intelligently made easier to us. The way it was mechanical for fan, now it is more for systems using AI, right? Machine learning and AI. Now, somebody asked this question to me last in Hyderabad, and I answered the question, in childhood when I used to get homework, that homework was more about you bring in your own intelligence to solve that, a kind of a way of how we represent it. But when I never used to do it, my mother used to use, some kind of scolding, so she used to beat me. That mechanism to make me learn is a kind of a learning I had to enable that homework to be done. In a similar way, if there is anything that a language could be understood by AI systems or artificial intelligence, that language is called as machine learning. You all know about this. So, but what are the basic components of it? How many of you know data, model, and algorithm? These three are the basic pioneers of machine learning. Okay. Anybody? I would like you guys to just come up and just have a small interaction. Uh, what does model means here? Anybody? Any example?
Set of
Anybody?
pattern or behavior.
Yeah. Okay. Any examples you can give? This is a very simple machine learning thing. Data, algorithm, model. You use it every day. Right from last 10 years, or maybe more than 10 years, we are using some construct daily where data, model, and algorithm are all involved together.
Maybe me reaching to office. What is the traffic?
Yeah,
Or
you
what
using
are
to
the
you using to traffic using your vehicle. Your vehicle having a GPS system, right? Google Maps.
yes.
When you use a Google Maps, you're actually using these three things. That's the first thing. Good example. Anybody else? Somebody has put some comment here. I'm just trying to read it. AI is about 70 years old as absolutely fine, fantastic. Some theory coming in. Laws of attraction theory says never say anything negative about AI. Okay, good. In AI model is trained about absolutely. Okay, fine, fantastic. Good. Anybody else has any analogy where you understand that you have used these three things daily and want to just comment or share across?
Uh,
Very important.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe I can say from like the social media, if you say, right? So the kind of things you watch, so that becomes like a pattern, and then it keeps on suggesting the same things. The same thing being used for Netflix, Amazon, and all the other OTT platforms as well. Trying to identify your pattern, the way you likes and all, and then they suggest depending upon it, maybe.
Okay. How do it understand the patterns? Any idea?
With
Data
earlier
sets.
data that they have, learning the data.
Absolutely correct. And how that early data is been processed to understand the pattern. What is required?
Bangalore's traffic management also uses AI models.
Neural networks?
Yeah.
Neural network is about thinking to understand the pattern. But see, if you are hungry, you want to feed yourself. Your brain is telling you you are hungry. What is it that you need after knowing that you are hungry to decide what is the most delicious food you want to eat?
Analysis.
Absolutely. That's algorithm. That's a third piece here already written. Your logic. I don't want to go 5 kilometers away. Something is near me. Let me grab it. A person like me will get 5 wraps. Somebody will say, no, I need some quality food. Satish is like quite specific to his quality food in case. He would like to order some paradise biryani. That logic is something in our mind, right? Which is supporting the data that our brain is trying to pull in to define a pattern that, oh, from last 10 times, even Swiggy has that. Swiggy will tell you, you ordered something, something, something for last 5 times. So you should order the something, something, something like that only today. This is intelligence. This is artificial intelligence. And to define that into a language, you have machine learning. Machine learning is all about these three factors, nothing else. And these three, I would say, is the core pillar of your everything that happens in AI. The moment you start understanding input of data, that's where the data scientists and data architects and data so and so came in picture 10 years ago, because they were able to provide the logic to generate it. And we were getting fooled a lot in Facebook and Instagram every time. Oh, wow, I was watching Rafael Nadal. And suddenly all the videos are coming like from Rafael Nadal only. Some of them are watching, some good songs from some films. And suddenly all the songs are coming of Priyanka Chopra and Deepika Padukone. And even that's a surprise. How is it happening? It's all because of these three things that's happening. So I hope machine learning is a bit clear what it happens. Let's go further. The foundation. It's all about the core purpose is to turn your data into decisions. So understand here, your data, you know that you're hungry. What you want to eat, that also you have in your mind. Your brain tells us you can eat this, but the logic has to come based on the food reviews, amount of laziness or curiousness you have to go and travel, ordering mechanism. Should I eat alone? Should I eat with my friends? Okay. Or should I cook something? And then you have a pattern coming out of it. Okay, let's do this. Similar way, when these things have been done to define the decision for you is what AI and ML, the foundation is. And you have three types of learning here. Machine learning, when you say you have three types of learning that comes in picture. Supervised, unsupervised, reinforcement. A question to all of you, anybody who knows the difference between these three. I'm going to make it a bit interactive because otherwise it is going to be quite monologue. Anybody who knows what supervised, unsupervised reinforcement means. Very important.
I would like to take a go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Supervised is when the data is labeled and clearly identifiable by the algorithm to take decisions on. You can classify it based on the labeling. Unsupervised is it is not classified, but it uses some kind of a mechanism to put them into clusters or some rough, you can say, orders of classification, and reinforcement is a part of unsupervised only, wherein there is some kind of a reward penalty mechanism that is helping to classify the data. So this is what I can give at a very high level.
Absolutely. You're perfectly fine. And this is exactly how I also learned. But then it really didn't made me, how can I understand when supervised is? It's actually correct. That's a very good analogy. You also have some core components, natural language processing, transfer learning, many things, right? Transformers also there. Let me make it more simple to you. Maybe my ways of how I thought it, you can correct me as well, wow. So when I personally at my home, whenever my wife says to me, hmm, and I understand what she means, that is natural language processing. Okay. And that okay and the head which is moving, and you're trying to understand that meaning of it just because you've not seen that completely. That's natural language processing. All right. What supervised learning is more about, when I've been told how to clean the room, when if I have been told that this is the very messy room, you don't know how to clean the room, you don't know how to fold the clothes, you don't know how to keep your stuff properly back to your shelf, let me teach you. And when she teaches me, which she has taught me for last 17 years, all right, in last 2 years, I've been heavily been taught a lot of things, but still I'm not. That learning is super. She's trying to label me. This is the shelf. Put the clothes there. That is labeling, and that's what is called as supervised learning. That's exactly when it happens to understand the learning coming from your specific applications like games, where games know that when a chessboard is happening, this knight or this rook or this king has to move like this, that protocol, it will automatically move in the way it has been supervised to move. That's what is supervised learning. Unsupervised is actually more complicated, where I have not done things, and my wife is upset about it, and I don't know. But suddenly I figure out why she's upset about, right? And that is unsupervised learning. I'm trying to find pattern. Why is she? Should I go? Should I talk to her? I don't know about that. And it's more about that. I still figure out because of the patterns. Oh, last time she got upset because, oh my God, I forgot something from the market. Oh no, maybe not that the case. I forgot my father-in-law's birthday. I don't know whatever it is. These are all patterns that I'm trying to understand, and that learning is trying to make me what is it is. That is unsupervised learning. Unsupervised learning is exactly an example where you try to put a move in a chess game which it has not been trained upon. You're trying to analyze it upon the patterns and how I should respond back to it. It could be more about how your car, when you are trying to overspeed and it doesn't have an algorithm, trying to react back to you based on your patterns earlier. That's your unsupervised learning. And the last is reinforcement learning, as been mentioned, trial and reward. It's basically, despite that, all the scoldings I've been given all the time, and still I'm not learning at my house to behave like a good person. And how I can basically dodge it, how I can basically learn through all those trial and rewards is what reinforcement is. Your Alexas, your Siris are all reinforcement learnings because you basically ask weird questions. They've been trained onto few things, but they basically have a trial and error. They understand, oh, you mean Shah Rukh Khan, oh, you mean this and that. And then they basically start analyzing this. So these are the basic components of AI and ML. And these three learnings are the basic crux when you go into generative AI or even in agentics as well. So natural language processing, reasoning and problem solving is very simple. This is more about, when I'm trying to say something and I'm about to complete the sentence, and before that, my wife finishes it. Did you pay the electricity bill? I did. I went. It means you didn't. That is basically a reasoning and problem solving. It's more about that when you basically go and have the intelligence, it tries to understand what you try to say. And before that, it jumps and gives you understand your Gmail. The moment you say thanks, it says and regards, right? Can you attach the file? The file automatically comes in. That's reasoning and problem solving. And this is all factors of your machine learning happening everywhere. Just trying to make you understand all these factors. So this is how, this is what the basics is. I'm trying to move further now quickly. So based on this, what are the basic components of AI? It's not well, yeah. Transformers, natural processing, reasoning, and problem solving, attention mechanism, transfer learning, learning algorithms. All of these are the ways how machine learning works. What it enables is pattern recognition. You all know what we understand. It's different patterns. Predictive analytics is based on your patterns or based on the way you are using that. It basically understands and gets predictable based on the metrics it is trying to get from the analytics. Classification and clustering are two different concepts of ML. Classification means that if I order a biryani or if I order a food item near from my house, classification concept says that let me classify all the areas in the city of Pune where the best biryani has been found. It basically classifies all the biryani joints in Pune. Clustering means how many of those joints are near to my 10-kilometer radius. That is the clustering. So clustering is more towards on the region. Classification is more on the content. That's exactly these two components work when you're trying to prompt. So understand when you're trying to prompt and ask a question to generative AI of any tool. This is exactly what behind the scenes happens. Anomaly detection is another thing where is there an anomaly? Is there a problem? Remember from the way ChatGPT has grown, right? Earlier, it used to say a lot of make mistakes, to start detecting the mistakes. Then came in the picture where it is to hallucinate a lot. It still hallucinates, but it's more about is it coming garbage? Is it not linked? Then anomaly detection is it the answer or the response I'm trying to bring? Is it right? Is it right to the context of the question being asked? That check mechanism is anomaly detection. Even a delivery boy understands, is this the right society I'm going to deliver? No, yeah. Oh, let me detect. Oh, no, this is not the one. That's the one. That's the same way our AI, the machine learning does it. And the recommendation systems is just based on your ways, it recommends more in detail. So these are more of a basic understanding, basic concepts of your machine learning. And once you understand this, then anything beyond agents and agentic becomes simple because they are all on top of this. They're all automated based on these things available from way back. Deep learning. Deep learning is like maybe a newlywed may have a couple of problems, but after years of marriage comes to know, yeah, this guy is not going to understand. This Ketan is a guy who will never understand how to clean the room. So it's been given up. There are a lot of things been given up on me in my house. I'm talking about myself. And the intuition comes in that he will only fix the house if his friends are going to come from the party at home. And that's exactly him where his self-respect comes out of it and he feels that no, the room, how should be clean? And there should not be any question or any kind of doubt coming to anybody else in the life. That's a way of how deep learning is more about how more you go inside to understand that piece, how you understand in more detail about what is happening. So CNN, RNN, CNN is convolutional neural network. RNN is recurrent neural network. And that is very, very important. So suddenly what happens is the moment I entered my house and I know it's not cleaned, we come to know about it because of the deep learning we have, the amount of time we have spent in the house. We come to know about it. Suddenly, you get inside a vehicle and you come to know that vehicle is not clean, or maybe the AC is not working. There's some problem there because of the recurrent ways of how you are, because of the convolutional ways of you think, because you've been alert about this. The recurrent neural network is again on the pattern. It's more about what has happened earlier. You start, oh, 5 years ago, the vehicle got breakdown because of so and so problem. Today, also, the same problem is happening. That's deep learning. That's going back and understanding the problem. In a similar way, when you are trying to go more deeper to understand the human persona or the system through any artificial networks, using these two is deep learning. One of the examples came through is about social media. Social media analysis is deep learning. It is all about your image recognition, about your speech processing, about your natural language processing with videos coming in, right? All those things are analyzed for deep learning patterns. more in detail it goes, the more it basically understand the layer. So there are going to be a lot of hidden layer. I'm going to give you a simple example here. The the best example I can have of deep learning is, and this is completely my example, and I have been very, very admired about deep learning, which my wife has. She can remember everything what I've done a mistake in the last 18 years. And the way it comes out, it's a perfect example of deep learning. What promises I given last year? I wanted to go to gym, I didn't went. I wanted to do so many things, I didn't went. Right? And it are all hidden. It can come from any part of it. And I'm just giving my analogy because I'm a kind of a very lazy guy. So multi-layered networks for there is that the convolutional neural network of things being understand on that moment itself and recurrent thing both can be active in deep learning very critically in a very quick way. So understanding multi-layered can be house. Second could be more about gym. Third could be more about food habits. Fourth can be more about cleaning habits. Sixth can be more about social habits. All this are the areas from where deep learning questions can come to me and can put me on spot. In a similar way, your Facebook, your Instagram, your face recognition, your videos, your likes, your dislikes to any post everywhere going, all part of deep learning. That's how it has been brought in together and give it to you when you basically access any of the tools. So moving
Okay, I have
further,
a question.
why I'm putting some emphasis here is because these are the basic foundations when we go to Gen AI, agents, and agent.
I have
I'm
a
gonna,
question.
yeah,
Sorry,
sorry, go ahead.
just
Mhm.
interrupt. So just you were asking at the start, what is the difference between deep learning and machine learning? Can we say the time factor and the layers are a big part of the difference between the two? Like
Machine,
machine
machine. I will tell you which city you belong to.
Bangalore.
So if machine learning is Bangalore, deep learning is Whitefield. The more specific you get inside, now the moment is from where you are, Bangalore. Okay, oh, from in Bangalore, where? Whitefield. Oh, in Whitefield, where?
I'm also
The
from Whitefield.
more, so yeah, sorry.
I am also from Whitefield only.
Oh, great, good. Now, the moment I get into here, then you say, oh, where in Whitefield? Which road? Which area? Oh, so traffic there. Okay, how many roads? How many signals are there? You're trying to deep learn now, getting into it. Multi-layers. So deep learning is a subset of machine learning. Somebody wrote it, which was right. So machine learning is the overall way of learning. Okay, Bangalore, Pune, Chennai. Traffic is a constant thing. To learn a traffic about Bangalore and Pune, you need to have a deep learning to it. Right. So the traffic becomes one context in terms of learning. Your video becomes a context. Your image recognition becomes a context. So deep learning is more about going inside, using the concepts of machine learning, deep dive into the engineering and get more insights. I hope I'm clear on this.
No, is there also a time factor? Because you said with marriage, the number of years increases, it increases your intuition, understanding, the doubts get reduced. So, is there a time factor where deep learning also learns this over a longer period of time compared
Absolutely.
to?
Absolutely. If you have a Facebook account today, it won't learn the way it is going to learn after 5 years, right? So remember the first time you used the Facebook in 2009 or 10, that day until today, there is a learning pattern that your Facebook account has. And it's all dynamic, it's all recurring, it's all going and understanding every day how it basically happens. The similar way, the analogy is more about, for me, because I learned in that way, that's why I'm sharing like this. It's more about any tool you use today, any social media tool you use today, the pattern coming in, even your WhatsApp emojis. Okay, when I'm putting emojis in different groups, the emoji, uh, the chronology of the emoji coming to you is also a deep learning because your WhatsApp knows what kind of emojis you use. It depends on the number of years you have spent using emojis on that WhatsApp since last few years. So there is going to be a time constraint, but time is all about not a constraint, usage and journey of time to let the system know how you are behaving is what a deep learning is. I hope I answered the question.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, moving further, neural networks. Neural network is nothing but the way it replicates back. It's a very high topic again. There can be a separate session altogether. But at this point of time, just understand the core purpose of deep learning is to have multi-layered ways to understand complex tasks. code generation, image generation, video generation frameworks. There are many of them. Learn basics are CNN, that is convolutional neural network. I told you an example. If my room is messy, my wife can sense it. That's CNN. RNN, recurrent. Uh, Very simple. Recurrent is where my wife starts remembering all the old promises I did and coming back to me. Sequences. LLMs, large language model. It's more about where everything has been quite open and can be transferred into the language to get the result. And deep belief is where, I have a very good example for this. So many times it has happened that I have been scolded badly for 30 minutes. And then after 45 minutes, I think I was actually right. Why was I hearing the scolding? So I get a deep belief inside me, oh yeah, actually I was right, but why was I silent at that point of time? So that is a deep belief situation. That's exactly what is happening today. When you are actually doing some kind of prompting, it says, I am thinking. Chat GPT will say, I'm thinking. And that's the concept where deep sea came in picture. That's a deep belief kind of a neural network. It has been thinking too much. Now it's an overthinking mechanism coming in, maybe, but that's a deep belief one, which is generating, but generating using a lot of thought process. So deep learning, these were the factors. We all know generative AI because we're using it. It's for text, images, audio, video, right? It's all about creating surprises. It's more about creating a new content altogether. When you are creating a new content, you're prompting and you want some creation to be done. It's more about a big shift. First of all, before generative AI, and why Gen AI, generative AI is an evolution, because before generative AI, it was all about analysis. It was all about analyzing your data, your input, your ways, your behaviors, where you're going, your location preferences, your food preferences. It was all about analysis. The day generative AI came in the month of November 2003, I hope I'm correct on that, it was all about creation. And that is where the world went into the storm because it can create new content for you. And that has made our job easy, despite we know that it is making our jobs easy every day. We are creating answers and responses using AI. We do read it to confirm it, but that's exactly how Gen AI came in. The core, the core technology was LLM. We talked about LLM already. The way it goes. It was more about text, videos, prompt, RAG. So again, a context here to let me give you one thing is, what is RAG? Anybody who knows what RAG is, retrieval augmented? Anybody would like to share some views on that?
Basically, it is idea where if you've not been trained on that particular information or that particular model or anything, then you can obviously go and seek external sources to complete the picture and present your answer.
Absolutely.
Your answer.
Retrieval augmented means that anything that has been retrieved, you're trying to verify it from the sources. And automatically that is coming in. Because initially when ChatGPT came in, everybody question today we question, right? Is it something correct? Can you believe in it? And that's exactly where augmentation from the retrieval came in picture to validate or verify from the sources before giving it back in their own models, actually. Nowadays, if you ask for the source, it provides the source also the file name or the website name as well. That's retrieval augmented completely. You know what prompt engineering is. Transform architecture is again, transformers are more about which are trying to understand the pattern. Pattern has been done by the model. Model understand the pattern that you want to have, but that pattern has to be linked to transform into a sentence or an image or a video that can be a result to you. That is what a transformer is. And transformers have architecture internally in generative AI that works with your LLMs to generate the response that is more edible for you. It can come with a raw output as well. That is of no use. At the end, we need some output, some text, some tables, some images that we can use. So to make it usable is what a transformers does. So that's what it is. Normally, normally these are the ways of how it goes. In the way RAG is, if if there is anything that you're trying to verify from anybody in the world, that's exactly you're trying to be a RAG there. That's what you're trying to implement. So that's what Gen AI concepts are. I hope this is a bit clear. And These are the ones that we have always been, you might have been part of it. Okay. Uh, Prompt engineering, RAG, audio music generation, output validation, which comes in picture. Anybody who knows what hallucination is? What do you mean by hallucination?
Starts giving the wrong information or considering that assumption.
Okay. Anybody else?
Imagination.
Imagination. Anyways, generative AI is an imagination piece.
This is a wrong
It is based
imagination.
wrong imagination. Okay, fine.
Totally out of world response.
Totally out of the world response. Okay. Anybody else?
Assuming the existence of something and based on that building new data.
Okay.
It cooks up stories very confidently.
Okay.
With some imagination. Okay.
All right.
Misleading
Why
data?
misleading data? Correct. Absolutely. Have you ever been able to, second question to all of you, have you ever been able to distinguish between hallucinated data and actual data when you're generating the response from AI?
Sometimes, yes.
Okay. Cool. If you can now, because now hallucinations have been quite parametered and they're also been validated very, very thoroughly. So there is already a mitigation already in place. A lot many times because that's how you state you see ChatGPT thinking, then option one, preferred option one, two, three. That was all been done to take out the hallucination. The hallucination is for me, it is like when I say to my wife, I'm gonna, I would say, cook today. I'm gonna wash all the utensils in my kitchen. I'm gonna clean the room, don't worry about it. That's a hallucination for my wife. Because she understands, oh, is it? Are you gonna do it? So much of confidence. And somebody said, putting up a story with a lot of confidence is actually a hallucination. And this happens because of the loop that happens in the LLM. Why hallucination happens is because so much of data is getting processed, not data. LLM is having much, model is trying to make so many patterns using the data which has been there that it basically creates some data sets, some predictive ways, which basically just provide the story in a way that can be matched to the response coming in, the transformer. And that's how it basically has hallucinated back as an output and it may make it up. Just to be on the conceptually, to be clear on that part, these are all about Gen AI, which you all should be knowing, and you can deep dive more into it. Prompt engineering is just about the way you do prompting. I'm again telling you, prompt engineering or prompt usage to generate responses doesn't mean that you are Gen AI enabled. Unless you don't understand the prompt behaviors like clustering, regression, classification, how transformers are linked to model, and how model is linked to data. This is the entire process comes under this. Okay, Copilot, very simple. Somebody said a supportive partner. Absolutely. Anything. You have an AI assistance where you get an assistance to generate the output of the Copilot. Okay, agent itself is a complete end-to-end thing that comes in picture. So it's absolutely where human leads. You are in control. AI assists to you a suggestion and help understand, and you get a better output and stronger output to generate it. That's what AI agent is. So you basically get with task scheduling, your minutes of meeting happening. And in Microsoft Teams, you might have seen how it happens because it is basically voice to text conversion, because Microsoft Teams have allowed the voice recognition to Copilots, and that's how they have built the Copilot inside it. It basically converts the minutes of meeting in a way, the way you are speaking, and understand the minutes of meeting language that is coming out of your Microsoft Teams is all passive voice and all past present tense. It will never be in a way of the current way. It will be past present in the way written. That's how it has been trained into. So that it basically can be copy pasted easily on your mail and can be sent to everybody. That's the kind of pattern being observed by Microsoft Teams or Microsoft to generate a co-pilot where your minutes of meeting are in that language, where it is a step-by-step way of what has happened, not about what is currently happening, but more about what happened just in the meeting, so that it matches to what is required. That's what the assistance is, co-pilot providing. So it basically suggests, it search, it drafts, and it automates it. Automates based on the repetitive meeting that last time you had this point's been mentioned, would like to take these actions for this meeting. This is all an assistance coming from your Microsoft team. I'm taking an example because you all might be using it. So that's how overall your Copilot does. So that's what a Copilot is. Going towards the main topic of agent, I know it's 13 minutes left, and I'm gonna share this. This is an important thing for everybody. Agent is where you basically have a goal to perform. And that goal, when it has been met with the assistance coming in step by step human way, is an agent. You have a goal, you have a plan, you need to act and you need to observe how it basically works. So if suppose you want to order a food and you have an AI agent who understand the patterns from last time and orders you, but confirms from you whether is this okay? Do you want some toppings? Do you want this and that and all the things? It will help you craft it. It is going to ask you every time what is needed. It is autonomous towards your goal. Okay, what specific goals you want to have. So agent capabilities are, more about tool use, task planning and decomposition, memory and context management, self-reflection, role specialization. These are AI agents. So AI agents are more about if I'm ordering a food to a food chain or maybe a restaurant, it's more about last time you ordered this, you should order this. Can you confirm? That's what AI agent does. A simple goal with a plan and action. So these are the key technologies which are being used basically normally in the AI agent piece. So like you have task scheduling and function calling. If you really want to send an email at a point of time, which is a generic email from HR to all the organization, the entire organization that wishing you a very happy new year and all those things with the existing tool, that's your agent, which can be done with task scheduling. It can also be about uh, prioritizing your day, prioritizing your meetings, prioritizing your team's ways of working, especially in the world of agile, how you use task scheduling and prioritization is prioritizing, having an agent which can plan the backlog grooming or refinement sessions based on your previous patterns. That's how you can do it. Memory systems, every agent will have a memory, a short-term and long-term memory for context and learning. When you say memory, previously in Copilot and other areas, they are not autonomous. They are more, when I say autonomous, some areas that a system can generate or learn on themselves. It would need a small memory and context where you basically put that this task, for example, if I want to order a food, please, it will take a memory of last 5 instances of your orders. That would be short term and long term is going to be about the year entirely. And based on that memory systems, it is going to see what should I schedule as the order if I put it. That's how it basically works together. In a similar way, when you have an agent for evangelizing or seeing the resumes to be screening, it's going to see the short term, the last 3 months of resumes we came for this Java requirement and what was the pattern there. So that memory systems are important in both agentic and agents because it is autonomous. It will not have exposure to the entire data outside because it really wants to work on the only areas that you really want the goal to be achieved with. So that's what it is. So you will have goal decomposition where you have to break in multiple objectives into simple tasks. That's how it basically works. A different tool orchestration and also self-reflection of detection as well. So to make it very simple, any agent that you took it, uh, maybe your resume screening. When you do a resume screening, your goal is not only resume screening. First of all, for prioritize the resumes. The second is more about, relevant resumes to Java. Third, matching to the job responsibility. Fourth, is it inclined to the years of experience required? All these are your goal decompositions. Based on this subtask, you have a memory system linked. Memory system is, oh, last time in last 3 months, matching to this, these were the 10 resumes coming in. That's your memory system giving you. Once the 10 resumes comes to you, then task scheduling and prioritization. Out of this, which is the more relevant to it? Let's schedule it, let's prioritize it. Okay, based on that, your tool orchestration. Oh, these three are the way. I think this three really matches. Let me ask the recruiter, can I schedule the interview? This is exactly how your agent works in. But here, you would need human in loop control. That's what it is. I'm just trying to make an example to make it more simpler. I hope I'm trying to make sense here. We'll take questions at the end. But that's what AI agents are in a simplistic way. We can surely detail and deep dive it more with practical learnings in future, maybe because 1 hour of time is not that enough. But still, these are the basics. Coming back to the hot topic in the world, agentic AI. Anybody, what is agentic AI? You have the slide in front of you, but still your experiences, if anyone would like to share. 50% the call.
Based on the prompt given, it guides us step by step what needs to be done, and it validates as well in between.
Okay.
Can I explain with an example?
Absolutely, go ahead.
If I want to book a railway ticket, if I give the instruction to my agentic AI, it will